Liebe Leute, das Reformpaket für die Verfassung von Sordland ist gescheitert mit nur 122 Ja-Stimmen von 166 notwendigen. Es gibt direkt mal eine Nachbesprechung. Lucian, Peter and I are mad in my office and decided to move out onto the balcony to get some fresh air in the increasing summer heat. They both looked uncomfortable in their suits. Peter was trying not to make eye contact and kept letting out depressing sighs. He wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief. What do we do now? All our plans for nothing. Yes, the USP leadership is beginning to target us as well. Not to mention targeting Sol himself. Yeah, what the hell was that all about? Sol appearing out of nowhere. Es ist noch nicht vorbei. Es ist noch nicht vorbei. Das bedeutet nicht das Ende der Präsidentschaft. If we can lead it, which we will. You're right, sir, we must plan ahead now. We'll be organizing a cabinet meeting to discuss our present and future state of affairs. I will also try and test the waters with our members of parliament. We can't let the party slip out of our grasp. I want a list of every party member who voted against the proposal. Zu welchem Zweck? Zu welchem Zweck? Also 2 ist raus. Wir sind nicht die autoritäre... Natürlich, Takin Sol ist not der Leader anymore, aber das heißt nicht, dass wir jetzt die zentrale Respektperson oder Autoritätsperson der Partei wären. Jedes Ministerium soll mir einen Bericht geben, ja. Eine Liste aller Parteimitglieder, die gegen uns gestimmt haben. Um was zu tun, um was zu erreichen. Man kann mit ihnen reden, vielleicht. Das wird aber wohl ihre Meinung sicherlich nicht ändern. Und ja gut, es ist die Frage, wie die Prozesse hier funktionieren, ob man den Antrag sofort wieder einreichen kann. Also... weiß natürlich nicht, ob das Spiel das zulässt, aber unter Umständen könnte sowas möglich sein. In den meisten Fällen ist das jedenfalls nicht ausgeschlossen, sagen wir mal so. Müssen natürlich die 150 Stimmen wieder bekommen, damit das überhaupt wieder vorgelegt wird zur Abstimmung. Ja, die Kontrolle über die Partei gewinnen oder eine Einschätzung der Ministerien bekommen, um für die Zukunft arbeiten zu können. Das ist die Frage. Staatsmanager wäre wahrscheinlich das mit den Ministerien. Ich weiß halt nicht, was hier wohl dahinter stecken könnte. Die Liste der Parteimitglieder. Macht halt keinen Unterschied, wer es war. Außer wenn es nur darum ginge, mit ihnen zu reden. Wobei das halt auch nichts mehr jetzt rückwirkend ändert. Also die Ministerien, wir wollen... Und die Regierungspolitik ist das, was zählt. Von Anfang an. Lucian looked at his watch. I think it's time to conclude our little meeting, sir. There was a tap on my shoulder. Livia Suno had joined us on the balcony. Pardon the interruption, gentlemen. Mr. President, David Visci is calling about the upcoming Foreign Policy Meeting. Ah ja, das ist der Außenminister natürlich. Perfect timing. Tell him I'll be right there. I will, sir. She turned to leave the balcony, was? She turned to leave the balcony, then back to us. Dreht sich um und wieder um. My condolences on the vote result, Mr. Rayne. Peter? She looked Peter in the eye as she said this and ignored Lucian altogether. Peter's eyes followed her as she walked out. Ja, das habe ich mir schon gedacht. Getting pretty hot out here. Okay. Yeah, let's call it finished. You may both go. Alright, gentlemen, see you later. They both left. Was gibt's denn für Entscheidungen? Filmpremiere? Okay. High-level agent has escaped from Rumburg. Aber erstmal wollen wir den Bericht von Holsort hören. In yesterday's internal USP meeting, also unsere Partei, a large group of party members voiced their disappointment in the failed constitutional vote. Dileas Graf criticized President Rayne for pursuing change without in-depth research and proper communication between the party members, blaming the President and Vice President for the failure. Ja, sie ist halt eine der Konservativen in der Partei natürlich. Aber das ist natürlich sehr spannend jetzt hier. Ein Whistleblower. A whistleblower from the Rumburg Security Bureau has escaped to Sordland by crossing the border and turned himself to the authorities in Estort. Agent Chelston Hailstone has promised to reveal extremely sensitive information about the development of a weapons program. We can give refuge to him and risk antagonizing Rumburg or send him back. Und wir sind schon... Die diplomatischen Spannungen sind schon so weit fortgeschritten, aber ich glaube, es ist wieder eine Prinzipienfrage. Natürlich geben wir ihm Asyl. Werden wir jetzt auch noch angegriffen? Whistleblower in safe house. After receiving Agent Hailstone, we have secretly transferred him to a safe house near Antil. The perimeter is guarded by special forces units to ensure no escape or rescue attempt can be conducted by Rumburg intelligence. The agent is currently being interrogated thoroughly to make sure that the preliminary information provided is accurate. Und die Nachrichten haben sofort Wind davon bekommen. Who is Chelston Hailstone and what does he know? That is the question of the day, as President Rayne has agreed to grant refuge to this rogue national security agent from Rumburg. After escaping to Sordland, Hailstone promised to reveal sensitive government information in exchange for asylum. Whether Rayne's decision will be worth the anger and possible retaliation from the Rumburg government remains to be seen. Tja, wer weiß das schon. Und Filmpremiere. I'd been invited to an exclusive preview of Alfred Kierbuk's Kubrick steckt da drin. New film The Morning Shall Come. Although I wasn't in much of a movie-going mood, it would have been unpresidential not to attend. With its massive budget and Kierbuk's directorial cachet, this drama was set to be a milestone for Sordland's burgeoning film scene. Personally, though, I was just looking forward to spending some time with my family. It was a very hot and sunny day as Serge drove us to the old capital. The film was to be screened in the historic Cinema Anglais des Erlories, the very first cinema in Sordland. Serge had maxed out the air conditioning to keep the Cadillac comfortable. I kept silent through the most of our ride on the H1. I couldn't get my mind off the results of the assembly vote. Frank fidgeted with his tie as he stared out the window. What's wrong, Frank? Since when do you care what's happening in my life? Come on. You know I support you whether you pass or fail those exams. What an honor, Your Highness. Frank, don't talk to your father that way. He's been working so hard for this country. Was hat denn Diana zu sagen? Excited for the movie, sweetie? Diana nodded happily. What about you, Papa? I know you are sad, but failure helps us grow, right? Okay. Everything is going to be wonderful. Exactly. Now, where did you learn that? Diana giggled. From you. Mm-hmm. Und jetzt? Also everything is going to be wonderful from now on. Stimmt wohl nicht. No more politics talk. You've been awfully quiet, Monica. I just want to focus on having a nice time at the movies. Monica folded her arms. We drove on in silence. Serge rolled down the soundproof glass between us. Sir, we are about to enter Arlery. We'll be at the cinema in a few minutes. Thanks you, Serge. I took a brief look outside as Serge rolled the soundproof glass up again. I could see the many towers of Arlery rising over what was left of the old city walls. Serge knocked on the glass and gestured forwards. We were at the main square of Arlery, and the historic Cinema Anglais and the Cinema of Angels was right in front of us. Is this the place? Yeah. It was an old Baroque-style corner building with walls that looked like marble from a distance. There were exquisite ornaments on each side of every window. Serge pulled the car to the entrance of the building, which was lit by vivid neon stripes in many colors. Come on, let's get out. Serge opened the doors and we exited onto the red carpet. We were just about to enter the building when a journalist managed to block the path. An SBC reporter. Mr. President! How are you handling the defeat of your constitutional reforms in the assembly? I'm going to keep fighting for my changes. Ist doch klar. Thank you. And were you aware that Tarkin Saw would be present? No, I had to find out from my driver, oder I refused to discuss. I refuse. Before she could ask anything else, the guards ushered us inside the theater. In contrast with the cinema's Baroque-style exterior, the inside was modern and sleek, with bare walls painted in black, red and white. Das ist aber eine seltsame Farbkombination. The film's cast and crew were already in the foyer with glasses of champagne in their hands. We approached the crowd and were welcomed by the producers and the event organizers. A man walked up. Alfred. Walked up to us with quick steps. Alfred Kchirbuk. Madam, Mr. President, it's so good to see you here. He gently bowed at Monica and shook our hands. It's an honor to meet you. I'm Alfred Kchirbuk. Who? Nice to meet you. My producers told me you had expressed admiration for my work. Frank snorted. I glanced at him and he innocently took a sip of his cola. It's very humbling to know that you've been watching and enjoying my movies. If you don't mind, my asking which one was your favorite. This one may be slightly different than my previous works. I love the Sordish Dream or The Man Who Saved the World. Ich weiß ja nicht mal, worum es da geht in den Film. Kann man das nochmal schnell rausfinden? Most influential Sordish directors of this decade. While in his 20s, Geschicke directed a number of stage productions for the State Theatre, including an adaptation of the famous Unser with an entirely bluish cast. Aha. His first film was Resident Karl, a controversial movie with socio-political commentary on Sordland, which is consistently ranked the greatest Sordish film ever made. It was later banned in Sordland by Takin Sol. Aha. By 1945, Geschicke was filmmaker of international importance, with several of his films being screened in various other countries. He wrote and directed famous movies such as Rebecca, A Touch of Satan, and Eyes Wide Open. In 1953, his film The Sordish Dream was nominated for the Best Foreign Film in the Academy Motion Picture Awards. Also in den USA sozusagen, in Acacia. The Sordish Dream. Ja, sagt jetzt aber nicht, worum es da geht, ne? The Man Who Saved the World. Ich weiß ja nicht. All of them are my favorites. Ich sag mal Sordish Dream, wenn ich nicht so richtig weiß, worum es da geht, aber dass er sozial-politisch kritische Themen, zumindest vor der Diktatur, behandelt hat, lässt ja hoffen. Oh really? Then you might enjoy this one too. I'll admit I didn't expect you to be such a cinephile. Frank looked me in the eye and struggled not to laugh. Why don't we take our seats? It's about to start. We entered the screening room, the lights dimmed and the film began. It was a period drama set in the 1870s about a Sordish soldier who pursues a doomed romance with a widowed Bludish farmer during the conquest of Bergia. As the credits rolled, I made an early exit to use the men's room. I was washing my hands when I heard an unmistakable voice behind me. Takin Solstar. What did you think? He leaned on his cane. He had the same frail appearance I'd noticed at the assembly meeting, yet up close I could still sense the raw magnetism that had kept him in power for 20 years. I'm happy the plight of the Bludish might finally get the attention it deserves. Be careful where you extend your sympathies, President Rayne. I'm surprised to see you are still around, sir. What were you doing in the assembly? My country was about to make a rash decision. I couldn't simply sit by. It's not your country anymore. You've succeeded for now, but you won't be able to stop me for long. Are you pleased with the outcome? It's not your country anymore. No. There was a glint in his eye. Tja, schwierig. Er hat halt den Support der alten Garde und des Militärs. Why did you block the reforms? Ja, ist ja klar, warum. A true president knows when he must step down. Ja, schon, aber ist jetzt so ein bisschen nichtssagend. Damit werden sie nicht davonkommen. True President knows when he must step down. Das ist einfach nochmal sozusagen auf die demokratischen Prinzipien bezogen. A lesson you'd be wise to learn yourself. I will not let you and that bleeding heart idiot Richter tarnish my precious constitution. Aww. Your constitution is ancient history. Du tust zum Wohl der Nation oder des Staates. Richter ist ein besserer Mann. Ja, das wissen wir nicht so richtig. Also natürlich trifft das, glaube ich, ist jeder ein besserer Mensch als Tag in Soul, aber jeder auch nicht. Aber es ist, sagen wir mal, es ist einfach ein besserer Mensch als Tag in Soul zu sein. So. Your constitution is ancient history. Tja, 1 oder 2? 1 oder 3 meine ich. Oder 4 halt. You tarnish it enough for the both of us already. Das ist schon wieder so sehr auf My Reforms. Wäre jetzt nicht so sympathisch. Gehen wir mal mit 4. Ha! Some of his spittle landed on my cheek. As if you, Anton, Rayne, are above it all. As if you are capable of remaining president without getting your hands dirty. At last I can admit it, I never did like you. I've known it since you opposed me all those years ago, you spineless backstabbing weasel. You bastard. Hier mal ein Richard Sharp Meme einblenden. You bastard. History will show who is what, Colonel. I stormed past him out the door. Soul's security staff and mine were now clustered outside the washroom, forming a buffer against the large crowd that had gathered. That's Tarkin Soul, I heard someone scream. His guards closed around him and mine around me. By the time the chaos subsided, I was back in the car with my family and Soul was long gone. 7 neue Zeitungsbeiträge. Die Zeremonie. Gar keine Lust drauf. Dinner mit der Familie mal wieder und Diplomatie-Briefing. Das könnte nochmal interessant werden. Schauen wir uns die Nachrichten als erstes mal an. The Washroom Summit. What are Rayne and Soul hiding? At a screening of Alfred Kachirbuck's overblown sob story, The Morning Shall Come, President Anton Rayne and former President Tarkin Soul were seen exiting the men's room together. While an illicit assignation is not out of the question, it is far more likely the two inveterate politicians were making backroom deals about which the Swedish public as usual will be kept in the dark. Glaubt ihr das wirklich? Rayne vetoes racist language bill. Ja, das ist ja jetzt schon ein paar Runden her. Kibbener must not be happy about this. Wer hätte es gedacht? Friedliche Proteste gibt es. Are pouring out into the streets in the country asking for their rights as citizens of Sordlands. Such demonstrations are the result of piled up resentments over past budget decisions, bills and reforms. Fortunately, it seems that the situation is not as bad since they remain mainly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. Ja, auch hier wird erwähnt, dass der Präsident und Tag in Seoul da waren. It's rumored that two of them spoke in the washroom. Okay. Rayne to keep fighting for reforms. Despite the Grand National Assembly voting down his planned constitutional reforms, President Anton Rayne declared he would keep fighting for the changes he had proposed. Speaking outside the historic cinema Anglais in Erlori, ahead of an exclusive preview und so weiter und so fort, Rayne did not provide any details as to how he would challenge the Assembly's final decision, merely stating, "This isn't over yet." So, Meeting. The two were seen together. Okay, das sagt nichts weiter aus. Law on the Swedish language vetoed. The Unified Language Act has been vetoed by President Rayne after the approval of the Grand National Assembly by majority vote on Thursday following a 3-hour debate. Ja, tut mir leid, habt ihr umsonst diskutiert? Aber so einen rechten Quatsch werden wir nicht durchgehen lassen. Ja, und dann werden wir uns beim nächsten Mal mit, ich glaube zuerst mit dem Diplomatie-Treffen beschäftigen, dann mit der Zeremonie und dann mit dem Familienessen. Liebe Leute, bis dahin wünsche ich euch wie immer alles Gute und bis dann, euer Jan.